Hey, it's Weege Show. We are not at Loretta's. I cannot believe we're not at Loretta's, but the same guys. Randy Poulter and Jeff Russell building this track. Do you even know what date it is at this point?
Somewhere in September, right?
Yeah, right. When was the last time you were home, Jeff?
When was that? When was that race I saw? I saw you in the GNCC. Where was that?
Yeah, that was
the week after 4th of July.
Yeah, 4th of July. And then you left from there.
I left from there. Went to Tennessee.
Oh my gosh. Hey, is it not going to rain here like gnarly? Like hurricane rains are not supposed to come through as far as you know?
That's the word.
That's the word. A little bit of rain today, but that'd be okay, right?
It could take some rain right now. I'm not saying I want any, but it could take.
It could take it. Okay, so how relieved are you, A, to finally not be at Loretta's, and B, to have a track that's supposedly not going to like turn to soup? You must be like, you're not home yet, but you got to be relieved.
A little bit.
We're not going to go that far.
We're not going to go that far. It's not Saturday yet.
That's it. All right. Yeah, I'll ask you at 6 o'clock Saturday and we'll know. Yeah, this is like real motocross conditions here, folks. Like, this is a groomed track. This is a good track. This is not just some mess of soup and then pushing it off. They got their dozers down there. And let's talk Weege Show. This is all brought to you by the good folks at Honda. Couple things about Honda. They have the new 2021 CRF 450R coming out. Why is this like this? 2021 CRF 450R. My video is not shooting straight. Hang on. Try my best. There we go. All right, we're back. Sorry, my camera angle is a little weird there. 2021 CRF 450R from Honda. Razor sharp cornering. My man Chris Keeper says the bike is good, but he's not allowed to say why he knows that. But we'll be testing it in a few weeks, and then you'll know if that's true. And the Honda Ridgeline pickup truck, which I own, has a trunk in the bed, and it is actually built around the size of a gear bag. So let's get into the Weege Show here, round 3, Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. I can actually take this off for a moment, because I'm not talking to people. But a disclaimer on the show, if you're wondering why I wear a mask when I'm cruising through the pits, it's not my personal choice. Bros, seriously? You think I just feel like wearing a mask for the comfort of it? It's the rules. If you go into the pro pits at these races, you have to wear a mask because the biggest obstacle to running these races right now is keeping the corporate bosses for the factory teams who are sending their employees into these zones happy that you're going to allow their employees to be safe. So everyone agreed that masks are required in the pro pits, and I'm heading that way now. I am wearing the mask because I am required, and we want the races to happen. We'll be back maskless in the future. I'm not gonna voluntarily wear this like 5 years from now just for the fun of it. All right, hold on.
Come on now.
I know, it's tough. It's tough. See that? I just got accosted because I wasn't wearing my mask, because those are the rules. So as you go to a new track, we're actually not at Loretta Lynn's, and you feel that. It's actual sunshine. There's a chance we could have a mud race before this is over, but we need to at least start thinking of how this series would look under normal conditions. Tracks we're used to, and weather that's a little more the norm for motocross. And I guess the question is this: when you're this guy, the number 16 bike, and you win a Supercross, you win a somewhat muddy race, and then a really muddy race, despite some adversity last week, does it already start to resemble, oh man, when it's your year, it's your year, or you're good enough that you can overcome any obstacle that gets thrown your way? And that's really the key to winning championships, right? To minimize the damage on the bad days. Like, let's say, win a race on what's a bad day. So I think that's the general thought. Can we take enough out of the first 2 weeks of the season to draw any conclusions at all, especially considering it's really only like 1.5 races, because one was a mud race, and you really got to like take very, very minimal things away from a mud race. So that's really the key. Are we looking at, hey, this series really starts here at a more traditional pro motocross track with more traditional pro motocross conditions? And hey, first round was weird. Not only was it at Loretta's, which is not normal, but even the timing. We don't normally have this huge break between Supercross and motocross. So maybe there's a chance that we can throw away a lot of the things that we saw at those first few races. But I do not think so. You know, in racing, we talk a lot about momentum and confidence and all that stuff. Well, it's a chicken and the egg type of situation, momentum and confidence. You know how you get confidence? You know how you get momentum? When you're riding good, when you're performing well. You can often build momentum just by doing good. Does that make sense? Sometimes one thing comes before the other. I don't think some of the performances that we saw in those early races That was just luck. That wasn't like things fell into place and now there's momentum. I think you see who's going to be good. No one's surprised that Dylan Ferrandis here, the number 14, was very fast at the opener. He was fave. We good? No mud. No mud. That's the hope at Star Racing, guys. No one was surprised to see Dylan Ferrandis doing well. Jeremy Martin, I think we were worried that maybe Jeremy Martin wouldn't be the old J-Mart, but now we see that he's pretty close. So he's performing then as expected. J-Mart's always been a player. A little bummed the way it's worked out for some of the other 250 contenders. Justin Cooper clearly must not be 100%. He's not riding at his normal pace. Hunter Lawrence has had a rough go of it. Hurt his shoulder. Might try to race this weekend anyway after his shoulder came out last week. We'll see about that. And a lot of the other young kids in that class haven't really caught fire like they had hoped. A lot of them didn't finish in the mud, so they're way back in points. So at least right now, it kind of looks like a showdown between the veterans of the class, which is Ferrandis and J-Mart. Although you cannot count out RJ Hampshire, who's been very, very good. Won a moto last week. And I know it's mud, you can't take too much away from it, but I don't really feel that way. I feel like what we've seen at those first two Lorettas, that was enough data. I feel have a fairly realistic idea of where things are going to go. There's the Huntsman right now. Mate, are you a spectator or are you a racer?
Well, I'm a racer, Jason.
Are you gonna race?
Yeah, I'll try.
How you feeling?
Good.
Did you ride?
Yeah, I rode.
Whoa! I'm
Yeah.
breaking some news right here.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
mean, if you followed me, you'd know.
I've been-
I updated my social this morning.
I'm on a plane.
Alright,
If you-
so was I.
Oh, and you still did it.
I still made it done. How dedicated are you to your job, Jason?
Yeah, sleeping was my job on planes. Was that tells you where my head's at?
No, you're good, bud.
All right, so you're going for it.
Yeah, we're gonna give it a crack, mate.
Okay,
Give it a crack.
dude. When you rolled off the track last week, were you like, what was the level of guttedness? Like negative 10?
Tell you what, I was ready to freaking apply at Walmart for a job, dude. I was done
Yeah,
after that.
I'd
Freaking
imagine.
hell. It was tough pill to swallow for sure. That was not a very enjoyable day. So.
No. So this is
Yeah.
much better.
It's much better. Hey, we're not out for 3 months for a surgery or something.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so we'll take the positives with it, and we get another chance to come back and just ease into it. So we're just gonna be smart and not be a stupid 21-year-old. So
Follow him on social, Hunter Lawrence, so you know what's going on.
Thanks.
All right, cheers. Hey, so now we know Hunter Lawrence gonna try it at least, but he's far back in the points, and like he said, now he's got to take it easy coming back from a shoulder injury. So I feel like the riders who were good at the first couple of rounds have kind of established themselves, and I don't know if it's going to flip now that we have a normal track and normal conditions, we hope. And in the 450 class, I mean, obviously we know the story there. Eli Tomac is 7th in points, but we're not thinking him the 7th most important guy in this series right now. He might be the most. How he reacts to the rough weekend last time out is going to tell so much of the story in this championship. We've seen the wild beast mode charges from Tomac down the stretch in races. Can he actually replicate that kind of thing over an actual season-long series? Now, if you're looking at 40 points and you're trying to do math on like how many motos he'd need to win to make that up, you're doing it wrong. That's not how it's going to swing. It's going to swing on, at some point, Osborne's going to have a bad one. That's just the nature of it. And how many points can Eli make up at that point? Can he get close enough to take advantage at that point? This isn't going to be a 1-1 versus a 2-2 every weekend math score. It does not ever go that way. And if you give me an example of one year where it did, I'll give you 49 other years where it didn't. So the key for Tomac is to chip away, make up ground, and at least be in position to, let's say Osborne has a moto where something goes wrong, he gets a 12th, and Tomac makes up a bunch of points there. Now it's, now we got ourselves a series between those two. But I did mention that he's 7th in points. So certainly an opportunity for other guys who've got to be feeling confident right now. Jason Anderson won a moto this year. Barsha won a moto this year. Chase Sexton, Adam Cianciarulo looked very fast. Marvin Musquin, 2nd in points, and we had a press conference with him on Monday, and he said he's surprised that should be 2nd. He still doesn't feel quite 100% where he normally is. That's Marv's motorhome, by the way. But he's pleasantly surprised to be 2nd in the points still, but it is 19 down on Osborne. So I feel like in the 250s, we have a little more of an idea of where everything stands and who's in the hunt. The 450s, it's still pretty wide open, and that is weird because normally it's the exact opposite, right? The 250 is normally the unpredictable class, and the 450 is the you know what you're getting. But when here's Zach Osborne, it's his world. Everybody just living in it. So that's the key. He's got to avoid bad races. You know, Tomac's going to come out at like a house of fire. There's a lot of other great 450 riders in the mix. We've got a normal track, we got normal weather, and the question is, will the results start to flip significantly from where they were at Loretta's? I think we got enough data there to have a pretty good idea where people stand. Maybe not. I guess we'll find out next time we go racing. Thanks to Honda, and thanks to you for watching the show, and thanks to the rules for making me wear that mask. It's not my choice. I just want to work.